Hello. So I thought we would do a little reading of Pride and Prejudice. So, Pride and Prejudice, Volume 1, Chapter 1. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of good fortune must be in want of a wife. Oh, hi, Froggy. Um, I was reading to our friends. No, they can't see you right now. They're watching online. Um, Froggy, is it okay if I read the story? Would you like to listen? Oh, well, wonderful. All right, so if you don't mind not hopping around too much, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll read the story. Okay. So 'tis a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. However little known the feelings or views of such a man may be on his first entering a neighborhood, this truth is so well fixed in the minds of the surrounding families that he is considered as the rightful property of some one or other of their daughters. My dear Mr. Bennet, you're going to find out who it is. I'm going to let you know in just a minute, okay? Okay. My dear Mr. Bennet, said his lady to him one day, have you heard that Netherfield Park is let at last? Mr. Bennet replied that he had not. But it is, returned she, for Mrs. Long has just been here, and she told me all about it. Mr. Bennet made no answer. Oh. Why didn't he answer? Oh. I think we need to read to find out. Oh. That's all right. Do you want to know who has taken it? Cried his wife impatiently. You want to tell me, and I have no objection to hearing it. This was invitation enough. Oh. Yeah? Why, my dear, you must know Mrs. Long says that Netherfield is taken by a young man of large fortune from the north of England, that he came down on Monday in a chaise and four to see the place, and was so much delighted with it that he agreed with Mr. Morris immediately, that he is to take possession before Michaelmas, and some of his servants are to be in the house by the end of the week. What is his name? Bingley. Is he married or single? Oh, single, my dear, to be sure. A single man of large fortune, 4,000 or 5,000 a year. What a fine thing for our girls! How so? How can it affect them? My dear Mr. Bennet, replied his wife, how can you be so tiresome? You must know that I am thinking of his marrying one of them. I think you have the same idea as Mr. Bennet. Yes, if you're wondering why she thinks that, you'll find out that you and Mr. Bennet are thinking a lot alike. Okay. So, she says, what a fine thing for our girls. How so? How can it affect them? My dear Mr. Bennet, replied his wife, how can you be so tiresome? You must know that I am thinking of his marrying one of them. Is that his design in settling here? Design? Oh, nonsense! How can you talk so? But it is very likely that he may fall in love with one of them, and therefore you must visit him as soon as he comes. I see no occasion for that. You and the girls may go, or you may send them by themselves, which perhaps will be still better, for as you are as handsome as any of them, Mr. Bingley might like you the best of the party. My dear, you flatter me. I certainly have had my share of beauty, but I do not pretend to be anything extraordinary now. When a woman has 5 grown-up daughters, she ought to give over thinking of her own beauty. Well, thank you for not interrupting me in the middle of a sentence. But yes, she has 5 daughters. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 girls in the same family. Oh. It does sound like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Lots of friends to play with, huh? Oh, and if you're wondering, I just need to explain really quick that Froggy here, he is nonverbal, which means he understands everything, but he doesn't know how to form words back. So you have to kind of guess at what he's saying, but he's still a lot of fun to play with. And I happen to know that he really likes to play with new friends. So you're going to want to meet these 5 girls in the story, aren't you? And we can pretend to play with them. Well, because they're in a story, they are imaginary and pretend. Oh, don't worry. We have other friends that are real friends that we can play with. But sometimes it's fun to imagine friends too. You'll see. It's still fun to hear their story. Think of it as internet friends that we don't get to see, but they listen in. So we get to be friends with them anyways, even though we don't get to meet them and play with them. That's right. So we get to say hi, and we're friends, even though we don't get to play together in person. Oh. Yeah, it's a different kind of friend. Oh. So let's learn about these 5 girls and their parents, okay? Oh. Thank you very much. Oh. So, she says she is flattered, but since she has 5 grown-up daughters, she ought to give over thinking of her own beauty. In such cases, a woman has not often much beauty to think of. But my dear, you must indeed go and see Mr. Bingley when he comes into the neighborhood. It is more than I engage for, I assure you. But consider your daughters. Only think what an establishment it would be for one of them. Sir William and Lady Lucas are determined to go, merely on that account, for in general, you know, they visit no newcomers. Indeed, you must go, for it will be impossible for us to visit him if you do not. You are over-scrupulous, surely. I dare say Mr. Bingley will be very glad to see you, and I will send a few lines by you to assure him of my hearty consent to his marrying whichever he chooses of the girls, though I must throw in a good word for my little Lizzie. I desire you will do no such thing. Lizzie is not a bit better than the others, and I am sure she is not half so handsome as Jane, nor half so good-humoured as Lydia, but you are always giving her the preference. They have none of them much to recommend them. Are you wanting to know if that was a bit of an insult? Oh. It's an insult. Oh. I know, Froggy. He's not the kindest person always. Oh. But he's not terrible. He's just very sarcastic. Sarcastic. Sarcastic is kind of someone who says the opposite of what he really means. Oh. Well, actually, right there, he says the truth as he thinks of it. But I'm going to have to look up the word sarcastic and give you a definition later, okay? Oh. I'm sorry, do you want to know now? Oh, sarcastic. Could I give you an example instead? Oh. So, if somebody hit his thumb and was saying, oh, that hurt, and someone else said, yeah, that didn't hurt, that would be being sarcastic. Oh. But right here, he does say the truth, but I don't know how else to explain him. He's just kind of that way. Oh. Oh, you don't like him? Oh. I think you'll find out that he has some more to his story. And even though he's not being very kind right now, and God tells us to be kind, he has reasons for doing what he's doing. Oh. That doesn't mean that his choices are right, but it means that we can kind of understand them. And maybe if we understood the rest of his story, we might be able to forgive him a little bit for his unkindness, even though it is wrong and he shouldn't be unkind to his own family. Huh. Are you still thinking you don't like him very much? Oh, you know what? Oh, that's okay. We're going to read the story to try to learn from it about how to live life better. So maybe we can learn from Mr. Bennet about how to be kinder with our words, like Jesus wants us to be. Oh, no. Do you want me to keep reading? Oh. Okay, let's keep going. Oh. Thank you. Ah. All right, let's see. They have none of them much to recommend them, replied he. They are all silly and ignorant like other girls. But Lizzie has something more of quickness than her sisters. Mr. Bennet, how can you abuse your own children in such a way? You take delight in vexing me. You have no compassion on my poor nerves. You mistake me, my dear. I have a high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends. I have heard you mention them with consideration, these 20 years at least. Oh, you do not know what I suffer. But I hope you will get over it and live to see many young men of 4,000 a year come into the neighborhood. It would be no use to us if 20 such should come, since you will not visit them. Depend upon it, my dear, when there are 20, I will visit them all. Mr. Bennet was so odd a mixture of quick parts, sarcastic humor, reserve, and caprice, that the experience of 23 years had been insufficient to make his wife understand his character. Her mind was less difficult to develop. She was a woman of mean understanding, little information, and uncertain temper. What do you mean, Froggy? I don't quite understand. Uncertain temper? Little information? Mean understanding? That's what you don't understand. Let me see. Do you think the author is saying that her understanding is mean and not nice? I'm glad you pointed that out to me, Froggy. What it means in this context, this is an older use of the word, and mean just means little. She's of little understanding. So she's of little understanding and little information and uncertain temper, but authors don't like to repeat words all the time. So this author chose to say of mean understanding, but she just means of small, little understanding. Oh, yeah, that's a new use of the word we learned today. Oh. So she was a woman of mean understanding. You got it? Good. Have you got it? I hope they have. Little information and uncertain temper. When she was discontented, she fancied herself nervous. The business of her life was to get her daughters married. Its solace was visiting and news. End of chapter 1. So can we say goodbye to our friends?